All right, welcome everyone. So when you start, you just want to buy one rental property. You want to get used to running just that one. If it's a good fit for you, then you can start the process to buy more rental properties. Here's the strategy I used when I started my real estate investing business. Several of the homes I have bought to live in, I kept them and I used them as rentals. I think this is the best strategy if you want to get started in real estate, and it's really the easiest path. So here's a breakdown of how to approach this. Finding your first home, your future rental. So what you want to do is you want to define your goals and your budget. What is the location you want to live that will also work as a rental property? Consider areas with good rental demand, job growth, and stable vacancy rates. You want to research rental prices in those areas to understand your property's potential income. Decide on the type of property you want. Do you want a single family home or a duplex or a fourplex or maybe even a condo? You want to find a property that suits your budget and the type of renters you want to deal with once you move and you use that property as a rental. You want to think about the maintenance needs and also the potential long-term appreciation. So what is your budget? Factor in the purchase price, the potential renovations you need, closing costs, ongoing maintenance, and property taxes to determine a realistic budget. Then you also want to work with a real estate agent. An agent experienced with investors can guide you through the process, especially if you're new, help you find really good deals, and then help you negotiate offers. I used a realtor when I first started out, and it helped me a lot to find those property listings on the MLS. Then next, you also want to look for properties with good rental bones. So consider factors like the number of bedrooms and bathrooms, and then the layout, if it's really going to work for renters. What's the overall condition of the property? And then the potential for upgrades that could increase the rent down the road. Next, you want to look at what it takes to turn your home into a rental. So you're living in this home now. What do you need to do to make it a rental? Maybe you don't have to do much. I don't know. But you want to first start out by researching the local rental regulations. Understand landlord-tenant laws, eviction processes, any permits you might need required for renting in that area. I know many condo associations in different areas will not allow you to do rentals in their, in that area or in that condo unit. So you have to see if that's allowed. Next, you want to prepare the property for tenants. So once you move out, you need to get it ready. Make any of the necessary repairs, upgrades to ensure the property is safe, functional, and meets local rental standards. Since you were living there, I would assume the home is in pretty good shape and you really don't have to do much. But you only want to do what you need to do to rent the home. You don't want to go overboard and just do a bunch of crazy high-end stuff, and you're going to make this a rental. So make it nice, but not so nice that a bunch of good stuff gets destroyed and you have to pay for it. You also want to set competitive rent rates. Research similar rentals in the area, determine a fair market rent and a rent that will attract tenants that are good tenants and that will maximize your income. Zillow or apartments.com are some sites to check out. Okay, so the next thing you really need to do well, and this is key, is you need to find good tenants. And you need to screen those potential tenants. Do credit checks, background checks, and references. This is a key that I always do. Find a way to visit where they live now to see how they live and do a surprise visit and make up some excuse on why you have to come over. Then you want to draft a clear lease agreement outlining expectations for both parties. Okay, so here's a comparison chart that we're going to show you of the two approaches, buying to live versus buying to rent. And you can kind of see here, walking through this, what you need to look for and what you need to do. Okay, new real estate investors often feel a mix of excitement and fear when it comes to buying or using their existing home for their first rental property. Now, here are some of the common reasons why they might be hesitant to take the plunge. Fear of the unknown. And this is the biggest one, right? People are just scared to do it. Real estate can seem complex with legalities, financing, repairs, and tenant management involved. New investors might worry about making costly mistakes or encountering unexpected problems. And you will make mistakes. I made a ton of mistakes when I did it, and I'm still alive and doing well, and I own a lot of rental properties. The other thing that might worry you is financial uncertainty. The upfront investment in a property can be significant, and there's always the risk of vacancies or repairs that could strain your finances. The unknown costs and potential for negative cash flow can be really daunting when you're a new investor. And this is why we say start with just one rental and use a house that you lived in or you're living in. And then when you move to another house, you use that as a rental. Lack of confidence is another one. Real estate investing requires research, analysis, decision making. New investors might feel like they lack the knowledge or experience to navigate the process effectively. It's much easier to buy a home, like we've been saying, and live in it for a few years, and then you take that home when you move to a new home and you turn that into a rental. Now, I know a lot of people will be going on and on about horror stories, and I have plenty of them. But everyone's heard the tales of the nightmare tenants or the bad investments, and these stories can be really amplified online and make the prospect of doing real estate seem risky. Worst case, if you buy your first rental and it does not work out, just sell it, make your money back, and walk away and don't do it again. And then you have analysis paralysis. This is with so much information available, new investors can get bogged down in research and planning and overthinking every detail and struggling to make a decision. You need to just find a home with the right numbers, buy it, rent it. It's that easy. Now, here are some tips to help new investors overcome these fears. Start with education. Educate yourself on the basics of real estate investing. Read books, attend workshops, or find a mentor who can guide you. Check out the training that we offer, which is very informative and a lot of it's free. Focus on numbers. Don't be afraid of the financial aspect. Learn how to analyze potential properties, understand cash flow projections, and factor in potential risks and expenses. And then if you just start small, you don't have to jump into a huge multi-unit property with 25 units or something. Just consider a smaller property like a single family home or a duplex or something like that. Just keep it pretty simple. And then you also want to try to build a team as you start growing. You need a really good real estate agent. A mentor would be nice if you could find one, and a lawyer can help you out in a pinch. The next thing you'd want to do is you got to take action. You can research, plan, and do all this stuff, but if you don't take action, nothing's going to happen. So you need to set clear goals, develop a plan, and then just take that first step. You can learn a lot by just doing it. Buy one property. Remember, successful real estate investors weren't born experts. I wasn't born an expert. We all started by educating ourselves, overcoming the fears, and just taking action. Next, you want to get up to 5 rental properties. So once you get one and you like it and it's something you want to continue, then we need to get to 5. So after you buy the first rental, great, fantastic. Now you want to start building your real estate empire. A well-performing rental is a great confidence booster and a springboard to expand your portfolio. So here are some strategies to consider as you plan to acquire 4 more rental properties. Okay, leveraging your first property success. So cash flow, reinvestment. The key to growth is using your rental income wisely. After covering your mortgage, property taxes, insurance, and maintenance, and any kind of other costs that come up, aim to allocate a portion of that remaining cash flow towards down payment on your next property. You can also get an equity loan or a cash out refinance. I've done this before on my properties. Once your first property appreciates in value, you can assess that built up equity through an equity loan or cash out refinance. This additional capital can be used as a down payment on another rental. Remember, tapping into equity increases your overall loan amount, so be careful with your financial planning and make sure that you've calculated everything out. I did this on a property that I had, took money out of it, bought a different property a couple blocks away. 2 years later, I sold it. It appreciated rapidly. 2 years later, I sold it for $44,000 profit. Okay, utilizing different financing strategies. One of them is house hacking. So house hacking is a strategy where you live in a multi-unit property like a duplex, triplex, or fourplex, or even a house, and you rent out the remaining units or bedrooms. This allows you to house yourself at a reduced cost or no cost while generating rental income to help qualify for future loans. Another thing you can do is subject to financing. So subject to financing allows you to purchase a property by assuming the seller's existing mortgage. This can be a really creative financing option, but it's essential to understand the terms and the potential risk involved thoroughly when you go into something like that. Expanding your investment horizons, consider alternative property types. Now, while single-family homes are a good starting point, explore other options like we said, a fourplex, sixplex, small apartment buildings. These can offer economies of scale in terms of maintenance and management. Remember, building a real estate empire takes time, calculated moves. Don't get discouraged. And if it takes a few years to acquire 5 properties, so be it. Focus on acquiring those properties that generate that positive cash flow and appreciate in value over time. So as your portfolio grows, you're going to benefit from the economies of scale in terms of management and potentially higher returns on your investment. Real estate investing can be a great way to build wealth. It's a great way to achieve financial freedom and then improve your quality of life. You just got to stick with it and success will be there. Now, if you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button for more videos on wealth building and making money, and let us know your thoughts in the comments.